Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Back with another one. Hold on. Sorry about that, Facebook and YouTube, but I'm back with another one. So, I am on here to give y'all some self-love. You know how I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So, we still on the dark psychology. Okay? And we're on today isolation and multiple flattery. Okay? No, manipulation, flattery. We're on. And isolation. Okay? Today, that's what we're on today. I will be doing y'all readings Facebook after this. And YouTube. I hope you guys are having a good week as well as y'all have a good weekend. Also, I have this book called Memories of Inspiring, but I'll read this afterwards. Okay? So let's start. I'm going to do my singing bowl because sometimes you got to get that negative energy out of there. You're out of that area. So let's see. Let's try it on out. So, let's start. Facebook, YouTube. Bear with me today. So, I'm going to put my little glasses on, you know. So, what we're on today is isolation. Okay? Let's start Facebook and YouTube. Isolation. Another technique of emotional manipulation of the victim from supporting system. So when someone isolates you, they isolate you from your support system. Okay? Which is meant to serve the victim ties with those who might provide and guidance. Is a form of manipulation that can be used to control and explore the victim emotions. And it is often done in a stable and uncovering manner. The presence of the technique is to cut off the victim from sources of help and advice, surely as friends, family, and also professionals, as a way to gain power over the victim. So, when someone isolates you, they cut you off from your friends, your family, your lovers, to have power over you. Okay? And as they do that, you know, and some people don't even realize it. I know I didn't realize it when I was in relationships with other people, that I used to cut them off sometimes with their family and their friends, but there was insecurities that I had going on for myself, you know. But now today I don't cut people off from their families and anybody from them. They gonna have to learn, is their family a good person for them or a bad person for them. That's not your business to tell somebody is they a good person or their family a good person. I learned that. I had to learn it the hard way in relationships, Facebook and YouTube, when I used to be in relationships with people. I used to tell them about their family members, you know, because some of them was toxic, but they have to learn it from themselves. You telling them it ain't gonna help, as well as They family can be their support system. That's all they got. You know what I'm saying? So if you out their life, they gonna need that support. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, cause something going on with my glasses here. It's a little bit hurt. So they gonna want that support and things like that. So you have to let them be, and let them be around their family and a support system, because that's all they have. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that. I learned that this year in relationships with others. You know what I'm saying? Because that makes your relationship to be healthy with them. Because when you cut them off from their friends and their family and their lovers, it ain't gonna work out for you. And a relationship ain't gonna work out for you. You gotta let your partner and your other half, or anyone you deal with, like even your friends or even your lover or your family, to be free. You gotta let them be free. You can't control them. You can only control you. Okay? So let's get with the rest of it. We have here the consequences can be determined to the victim mental health. It can lead to feeling of confusion, loneliness, and helpless. It can also lead to insecurities and self-doubts, and also insecurities, making it hard for the victim to set and inform boundaries, to regulate and trust their own feelings. So it's like they gotta know their own feelings as well, but it makes them also feel insecure. It makes them also don't have that support system that they can go to help them. Not you, but to help them. And you have to let them do that. That's how you have a healthy relationship with someone. Because isolating them is not going to work out. I learned that the hard way. Isolation is a way of including physical and the personal to create emotional burdens between them and others. So when you are taking them from their family and a support system and their friends and things like that, you're making them be depressed. That'll make a person be depressed. That's like they living in a prison cell, because you're taking them from their family. And then and people don't notice it. They don't. I didn't even notice it until I had to recognize it this year. But you can't take somebody from their family members or their lovers or their friends, because they need that support system as well as they can't do it to you. You get what I'm saying? The pursuit of isolation type of following survival strategies. Building dependence. Manipulation must be creating a sense of dependence by offering support to attack and verbal. They build a bond and make the person more like to reliable on their manipulation for emotional stableness and validation. So when they separate you from your family and your loved ones and things like that, they want to manipulate you and they want to control you. And sometimes it don't be that case, but most of the time it is, because when you're taking them from their family, their support system and things like that, it's like they're trying to manipulate you and also control you. Gaining irritated, excuse my language with this one. The manipulation of the starting to gain by creating bonds between them and their support network. This can involve in criticizing as well as bringing conflict with their friends or family. So some people will bring conflict to their family and their friends because they don't like them, but they also will do it because they want to control their other half, or they want to control their friend, or they want to control their lover. So they'll bring conflict. You know what I'm saying? or creating that others to understand the harmfulness. Controlling conversations. So it's like they love to control conversations as well when someone isolates you. Manipulating often controls the follow of communication in this person. May be a mentor or assistant to a phone. It's like they always in your phone or on your social media. So when you're in a relationship with someone, when they're always in your phone and they always in your social media, they don't even trust you. So why would you be with them? You know? But some people think that is real cute in that, and some people think that's cute for somebody to do that because it shows that they love them, but that's not love. That's someone trying to control you when they're up in your phone, when they gotta be in your phone and they gotta be on your social media and they gotta know what you got going on every time and 24/7, and you in a relationship with them, as well as family, as well as friends. You have the right to live your life for freely, not without nobody trying to control your life. You know, and that's what's happening today, YouTube and Facebook, every day in homes and everywhere else. Because people don't know how to stay in their own lane sometimes. I know I didn't even know how to stay in my own lane. But now I do. Because I did the studying. I have did the healing. I have did the work. Even looking at myself. And sometimes you got to go and look at yourself and do your shadow self. And look at that shadow self to work on yourself. Because sometimes you dish out things that you wouldn't even want nobody doing it to you. But you dishing it out to other people. I had to sometimes look at myself. And I had to look at it, and it was hard, Facebook. I'm talking about hard to look at myself. Especially when you a fire sign. But I had to look at myself because I had to see, why am I going through the same patterns and patterns and patterns and patterns and karmic cycle after karmic cycle. I had to learn those things, and I learned them because of the simple fact is, I look within me. Isolating people and things like that, that's insecurities. You get what I'm saying? You got insecurities when you isolate somebody or try to control them. That's not a healthy relationship. That's a toxic relationship. Okay. We have here communication by controlling. So it says here, where we at? Yeah. Communication by controlling the information of the person receiving. The manipulation can be and the manipulator of reality. So it's like they take you out of reality as well. Creating and depending on the manipulator. It's like they want you to depend on them all the time. As the person become more isolated, they may start to reliable on the manipulator for emotional support, advice, as well as verbal. They depend on their strength and the manipulator controlling over their emotions and decisions. So it's like when a person isolates you, they control your emotions and your decisions. That's like you in a doggone cage. Or that's like you in a doggone box. And it happens every day. It's happening every day in homes. It's happening every day that somebody can control you. And when you let people do that, I used to be like that. I'm not even gonna lie. And that was like 5 years ago. I used to let people control me emotionally and also my decisions. But I had to learn, and I learned that. Now I control my own decisions and also I identify my own emotions. Nobody can control your decisions and your emotions. If they're trying to control your emotions and your decisions, they doing it for themselves. Facebook and YouTube, they not doing it for you. And I learned that. I had to learn that the hard way. You get what I'm saying? What you can do during the manipulating techniques, that can be a challenge, but there are a step when you take accountability of them. So you got to take accountability of them. Like I told you, when you, like, some people don't know when they isolating somebody. You know what I'm saying? You gotta identify that. You know? Documents. It says documenting the incidents. So when document the incidents that's happening, keeping a record of the incidents where the manipulator is manipulating you or isolating you, including dates, times, locations, as well as the occurrence. And it says, and document can be used if you need to seek help from authorities or another professional later on. Maintaining social connections. So always maintain social connections when you're in a relationship with anybody. Okay? Active nurturing your relationships with friends, family, and also making effectiveness of social actives and maintaining a strong support network. But doing so, create a bond against isolation, as well as manipulating, able to control your social intents. So it's like it'll stop them from trying to control you when you have your networks and you still be networking. Even in relationships, you supposed to network and talk to others and your friends and your family and your loved ones. If a lover don't want you to do that, that's an unhealthy relationship. If your family wants you to do that, that's an unhealthy relationship. If your friends want you to do that, that's an unhealthy relationship. And it has something to do with that Facebook and YouTube. Set clear boundaries. So it has something to do with maintain social connections, document the incidents, and set boundaries. Clear boundaries with the manipulator with communication. Let them know your behaviors and unacceptable, and make it clear that you won't tolerate their isolating you. Be firm and maintain the boundaries. Say you're trying to isolate me, I'm not doing that. Okay? Develop a exit strategy. If the manipulator become unbearable, it's important for you to exit plan. So do an exit plan on them. This could be involving removing yourself physically from a situation and seeking help from a professional, or ending the relationship altogether. When somebody isolating you, you need to end it. Something wrong with that. That's a red flag. Bing, bing, bing. You heard me? Bang. You heard me? Because if they don't want you to be around nobody, they're trying to manipulate you and control you. Okay? Yeah, and end the relationship altogether. Unsure you have a safe and surely plan in place. Practice self-care. Manipulators can take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. Self-care and activation that will help you to relax and recharge and exercise, meditate, and do your hobbies. That's what's wrong with people today in their relationships. They only got no hobbies. They gotta be with their lover 24/7. Something is wrong with that. They gotta be with their family 24/7. They gotta be with their friends 24/7. They have no hobbies. Yeah, no hobbies. You gotta meditate and be by yourself sometimes. Exercising would help you as well. Spending time in nature. Taking care of your own well-being will make you more resilient to manipulation. So that's why you have to take care of yourself. Okay, but you also have to stand up for yourself when somebody is trying to isolate you. Okay. Remember, if you ever need if it's unsafe or threatening, doesn't to seek help from professionals, surely as a therapist, a counselor, or a law enforcement, when they're trying to isolate you, because they're trying to control you. Okay. When somebody telling you you can't be with your friends, that is isolating you. When somebody telling you you can't do this, that's isolating you. That's their insecurities, and they go have to deal with it on their own. Because I know I did. You hear me? And I had to learn that you can't control nobody but yourself. Okay? Now we're on manipulating flattery. Okay? It is the next trait of emotional manipulation to considering manipulating flattery, which involving using false completions and false conversation and charming in order to gain control of the victim emotions. So they will even charm you. They'll charm you, make you feel real good. Manipulation is completing as a word that or including more, words that is intent to make the victim feel good about themselves. I told you they make you feel good about yourselves with this manipulation flattery, but and often used in a manipulation way. So it's like they'll make you feel real good to get what they want out of you. Yeah, that's what they do. And that's what is happening today. Okay, Facebook? This is manipulating flattery we on. I was on isolation, okay? False promises. Here we go. It is when a manipulator uses communication with the goals of gaining favor and winning your trust. So they'll tell you false promises all day long. And false promises, Facebook and YouTube, they'll tell you something that they go do. Or they'll tell you they love you. They'll tell you they want a relationship with you. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you, whatever, to get what they want out of you. And this happens every day. Every day, Facebook. And people don't even observe it. They don't observe it. Considering when a manipulator use kind words. I told you they use kind words to get tripped, they victims, into doing something they don't want to do. Let's say this or let's hear it again, Facebook and YouTube. When a manipulator use words, it says, when a manipulator use kind words to guilt trip you, the victim, into doing something that they don't want to do. So they'll tell you all kind words just to guilt trip you. So and guilt trip is when they want you to be feeling sorry for them. Okay? And it has something to do with that. It says later they will underhand, and when a manipulator use words to belittle you and criticize the victim into a certain way. So they even try to belittle you. You ain't all that. What? You a B. They call you bitches. They call you anything they want to call you. And they say kind words to you, then they turn around and be Jackal of the Hyde. Have you ever heard of Jackal of the Hyde? When a person first be nice to you, then they'll turn on you. They call that different personalities as well. Okay? But that's what it is. They be Jackal of the Hyde on you. Manipulation flatteries is a technique that offer emotional manipulating someone by showing them with exercising praises. So they'll tell you all praises all day long to create a sense of the independence. It's like they want your independence and your trust. They want you to trust them in their independence. Controlling over by targeting you. There are a position of more common forms of manipulating flatteries, identity and verbal. The manipulator will identify and target your insecurities, weaknesses, as well as your desires to explore them with effectiveness. They may observe the person's behaviors, intentions, and also past examples to have a better understanding of their verbal. So it's like they'll study you and see all your weaknesses, all your insecurities, and all the things you did in the past to use it against you. This is what they do with manipulating flattery. They also will do exercising and praising. The manipulator will make you insecure and complete act to make the target feel special. It's like they want you to think that you better than everybody and you all in a bag of chips to them. Appreciating like they appreciate you and also your values. They may praise the person appearance. I told you they'll make you feel like you all in a bag of chips. Achievements as well as your intelligence, any other qualities that are important to them. So it's like they'll use all that to you. Your achievements, your intelligence. You'll act like you special to them. And everything else to get whatever they want out of you. But it says her sense and positive. They even use positive things on you. Manipulation often focus on the positive of the person that are trying to manipulate while ignoring a downplay in any negative traits of behaviors. They will create a one-sided image of the target, making them more to manipulate. So they'll make you feel all good. It's like you in an all new world. You like, oh, you grinning and you thinking you just the stuff, while this person is backstabbing you to get what they want out of you. And this is happening every day. Facebook and YouTube. It's happening every day. In homes, in families, in friends. Every day. And people is not identifying it. When a person is straight manipulating you, I had to identify. I identified it 5 years. It took me 5 years to identify that stuff. But I identified it because I got tired of those karmic cycles. I got tired of going through the same repeating patterns. When somebody backstab you and manipulate you by telling you words that ain't even true. While they sitting around her acting like, yo, they your homie or your best friend, and they sitting around her telling you what you want her to get what you want, and then after they get what they want out of you, they say F you, and they don't even know you. They don't even know how to speak when they take your stuff. For some of them, I've been through it. I've been through all those traits, Facebook and YouTube, when people would sit up in your face, grin in your face, and then take your stuff afterwards. And not just take your stuff, but take your soul. Take your feelings. Like you don't got no feelings at all. It's people that evil out here. It's people that cold out here. They don't care about nobody emotions or feelings these days, man. And they use manipulation with this manipulation of flattery on you to get what they want out you. And then they'll leave you in the dust. You hear me? With nothing. And they don't do it to you. They do it to the next and the next and the next and the next. Like it's all good. They got your stuff. They taking your happiness, your love, your energy, and living off of it. As well as your stuff. Acting like they the stuff. But how you the stuff and you taking somebody else's stuff and you living off of it? This is happening every day, Facebook and YouTube. And people need to observe it, man. That's why the only way you can observe it is going to spirit and going within yourself and finding who you are. Because when you don't find who you are, people will manipulate you, gaslight you, and all type of other stuff. Act like they your friend, stab you in the back. You gotta identify so you can walk away from it before it even happen for sometimes. And sometimes you gotta confront it. Don't sit around and keep your mouth closed because you scared of somebody. You got the right to say what you want to say to somebody, and if they don't like it, that's on them. When they manipulating you and gaslighting you and all that, you have the right to tell them that. And if they don't like it, that's on them. They shouldn't be doing it if they don't want nobody doing it to them. You know what I'm saying? I just had to put that down there. Okay? Yeah. Flattery will mix with personal attacks. Manipulating between personal attacks. They may even use the targeting as well as confidence by pointing out the weaknesses and failures of following you to keep them hooked and seeking advisor. So what that means is they will look for your weaknesses and target you. But see, what you don't understand, this stuff here, they look for your weaknesses, but everybody got weaknesses and failures. Everybody in this world. Ain't nobody perfect in this world. Nobody. Facebook and YouTube. You know, as they telling you your failures and your weaknesses, they got some too. You know what I'm saying? But you can't tell them that, because they trying to manipulate you and get whatever they want. That's all they care about. Playing with your emotions, they'll do. Gaslight you, they'll do. Withdraw praises. So they'll even withdraw praises from you. When they say all good stuff about you, then they turn around and do bad stuff about you. Talk about you like a dog. Make rumors about you that ain't true. Just to make themselves look good in the social. And then when they telling people bad things about you and fake news about you, they talk about you like a dog to make other people believe their story. But see, Facebook is two sides of a story. It's two sides of a story here. You know what I'm saying? These are the traits that they be doing here, Facebook. That's why you gotta know your self-worth. Focus on your self-worth. Build your confidence. Your self-esteem and your confidence. You gotta know your self-esteem. Playing with a manipulating person that be doing manipulation, flattery on you. You gotta build your self-esteem. You gotta build your confidence. You should know your confidence and your self-esteem before you even come across them. You gotta know your worth. Your self-worth. Your independence. You gotta know those things. Because if you don't know them, they will flatter you and try to get what they want out of you. You gotta distance yourself as well from them. And question their motives. Like I told you. Ask them why the hell is they trying to do what they doing to you. That's what's going on here. Facebook and YouTube. Next one we gonna be on is fearing motives. So they'll use fear on you and things like that on you. And then we'll be on emotional manipulation is a red flag. So when somebody emotional manipulating you, it's a red flag. And what you can do when they doing that, and when they imbalance and things like that here as well. So Facebook and YouTube, isolation is when somebody is isolating you and trying to stop you from your friends and your family members. Manipulating and flattery is when somebody is manipulating you to get what they want out of you. So they'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you all the good things in the world, what you want to hear. But then afterwards, they will stab you in your back. And they will lead you out into the cold like they don't even know you. So that's why Facebook and YouTube, y'all need to, Facebook and YouTube, you need to observe your environment. Observe your environment and observe the people that you're dealing with. Hey, if you even scared of them, you need to tell how you feel. Don't hold back. Ask them why they manipulating you and gaslighting you and trying to take your stuff and trying to use you. Because when you're holding back and not saying nothing about it, they go keep doing it and 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 doing it to you. That's why you got to know your self-worth. What they say? Your self-esteem, your confidence, and your self-worth. You got to know who you are. Know who you are. Yeah. You got to go within. People don't want to go within now. But at this time, Facebook is the time to go within now. Because in relationships at this time, people are with people for their assets in second house. They in relationships for their assets. They not in relationships for love. They not in relationships for caring about you at this time. They in their relationships with people because of their assets, is what they can give them. What they can give them. How is that love? How is that love? A person shouldn't have to give you anything. You should have to give it to yourself. That's what's wrong with the world today. They don't know thyself. And knowing thyself, Facebook and YouTube, is knowing who you are. Because they so busy on worrying about who the next person go get them something. How do you know yourself? People need to identify their spirituality. They need to know the Most High. They need to go within their selves as well. They call it the Christ conscious. And they got to know who they are. Because at this time, the 7-7 portal is open. And that's spirituality. And a lot of them just playing it like it's good. But see, what they don't understand is the people that they kicking it with only want their assets. How you want to kick it with somebody that only want to be around you for your assets? And then when they take your assets from you, you nothing to them? Wake up. Wake up, Facebook and YouTube. It is spiritual warfare out here. It's spiritual warfare out here today at this time. We're in retrograde. Mars retrograde. Okay? When people going back to the people that stabbed them in the back, they going back to the people that stabbed them in the back. They pass. How you gonna go back to somebody that stabbed you in your back? Didn't you learn from that lesson? Didn't you learn from the person that stabbed you in your back? People got to go through transformation at this time. They got to go through a death and a rebirth. Because if you're going back to the past, you go get backstabbed and you go keep going through karmic lesson after karmic lesson. Facebook and YouTube. This is the warning I gotta tell y'all. You gotta go through a death and a rebirth. You gotta end things in your life. You gotta end your family members, your friends that's toxic, your family members that's toxic, your lovers that's toxic, your co-workers that's toxic. You gotta end them. Or you will keep going through the same cycle after Cain God, and you're gonna be heartbroken. You're gonna be heartbroken and empty inside. At this time, you need to go within. At this time, it's time to go within yourself so you can fulfill your own self in your own cup. Because if you feeling your own, if you feeling everybody else's cup, you're not going to be fulfilled. You're going to be empty. And I know. Because 10 years back, I was down and out. had nothing. I was going through the dark night of the soul. Doors was closing on me, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Until I had to realize, and I went to the doggone bottom. When you down at that bottom in that darkness, darkness, and people just closing the door on you. You learn. You learn, Facebook and YouTube. I learned. And when I learned, I had to figure me out. Not somebody else. You gotta fill your own cup. You gotta love your own self. Cause at this time, kicking it with people, partying with people, they gonna leave you in the dust when they get your money. They gonna leave you in the dust when you're getting high. They gonna leave you in the dust when you're drinking. They gonna leave you in the dust when they gonna leave you in the dust. When you get out that bed, you by yourself. I just had to bring that spiritual food to you guys. And I love you guys. Sorry for hollering at you, cause I ain't trying to holler. But I know. Love y'all. Bye Facebook and YouTube.